Hi everybody, Steve Griffiths here, developer of the MTPredictor software program. In this video I'd like to take a look at how the 4 US minis unfolded yesterday, which was Wednesday the 28th of March. In fact, yesterday was a very interesting day because if we look at the 15-minute charts to start with, you can see that we had a DP support. I'll just put the session times on. A DP support here on the Russell Index just about around the open level. The market then went through that, so the large degree trend was down. If I look at the NQ, there wasn't any particular support on this at all. It was just correcting back after the last sharp rally. The YM was very interesting because if I put the session times on here, you can see that here the market opened. We had this decision point on our charts as we were doing our training, our customer training yesterday, and we were looking at potential support zones around about the 10:30 to 11 o'clock area here, but as you can see the market went down beyond this or below this, so the 15-minute trend then turned back down again as the market declined, and we had a similar position on the ES as well, where we had the 15-minute support. Nothing really happened here. It was a trend continuation as the 15-minute trend came down. So the point being is that after about half 10, 11 o'clock time around here, when these 15-minute DP support zones were exceeded to the short side, the trend was down. So let's have a look at the individual charts on the 3-minute charts and see what kind of setups there were. If I look at the Russell Index first, you can see that we had a lovely TS2 sell, and this occurred at 11:18, so was after the 15-minute chart had gone down, so it was a valid trade setup. We also had a DP buy here, but this was against a red STF. So let's have a look at this, not only with our advanced traders' eyes, in that we know the 15-minute trend had turned down after about 10, 11 o'clock in the morning, but also from the point of view of standard traders, the STF was red. Let's put the analysis on. So this was a very nice setup. Market went down to the first target. The STF was weak, so we'll be taking profits at our first target, which resulted in a very nice plus 5-hour profit. So I'll just start taking some notes of these. So on the Russell Index, from 11:18, we had a plus 5-hour profit. Let's move over to the YM. Remember, STF is red, 15-minute trend is also down, therefore we are avoiding our buy setups. We're only looking for sell setups. So there was a sell setup here at just after 12 o'clock. If I put the analysis on, you can see this took you in and then just clipped you out. This was very frustrating. It just clipped you out just at that top there, just for a minus 1R loss. So let's note that down. So that was minus 1R. We then have a look at the NQ. A bit later, a lovely TS3 sell setup here. If I just go back to the YM, there was another sell setup here a bit later in the day, and if you want to be really accurate, we'll actually note that down as a minus 1R loss as well, just to make sure that we actually do everything correctly here. So that was just before close, so it would have been debatable whether you'd have taken that one, or if you had, whether you had your stop a bit closer, but either way, let's just take that as a minus 1R to give the worst case scenario. Go back to the NQ. You can see here at the same time, that particular setup would have just basically come out for break even if you'd taken it, but the one I want to look at is this one here, which was at 1 o'clock. Do you remember our YM one was around here? So just as the YM was getting stopped out, we had a lovely sell setup on the ES, sorry not the ES, the NQ, and that you see took you in there, came down, and look where the projected profit target was, right at the low of the day. So that would have had you banking your profits right at the low of the day. STF is weak, so that's where you'd have come out for a lovely plus 6R. So let's just note that down. On the ES, there was actually nothing here really, apart from again that same setup there later in the day. Now remember, if you have setups on multiple markets at the same time, you don't take all of them because it will be doubling up, or in this case tripling up on your initial risk. You only take one of them, and the way you decide is normally by the volume of the market you're trading, so it would probably be the ES you'd take. So there's only one setup there at the end, so I'm only going to count that once. Buy setup here against the blue STF, so there'd be nothing to do there. So if we count that lot up, so it's plus 5 minus 1 minus 1 plus 6. So overall that would be a plus 9R day. Now that is absolutely fantastic, because remember we suggest trading 1 or 2% risk per risk unit. So if you were trading 2% risk, 9R would have made 18% profit on your trading capital in one day, and that was absolutely fantastic. So a plus 9R day would have been amazing. Let's just skip over to the NinjaTrader add-ons. I'll just bring this into the video so you can see how the setups came in on this as well. If we look at, again we'll go through them. So here's your Russell Index sell, exactly the same as we had on our MTPredictor 7. That's what I was using before. Exactly the same for, well, plus 4.9 or 5R. Remember the DP buy here was actually against a red STF, so standard traders would have ignored that. We then go to the YM. Exactly the same setup here. You can see we had that would have been stopped out. Exactly the same as on MTPredictor 6.5, sorry, MTPredictor 7. We then go to the NQ, and there we go. There's our exact same sell there. And if I put the analysis on, again that would have come out at the low of the day at approximately 6R profit. The only difference would have been the ES. Now this is an interesting scenario, because here we would have had an ES trade at the same time as the NQ trade. Now this particular one would have gone down to its target and actually made a lovely 2R profit, with again profit at the low of the day. So the question being is, why did this show in NinjaTrader but it did not show in MTPredictor 6.5? Well, it's all down to the way different programs use different ways of calculating mathematics. Believe it or not, different software versions, and that's NinjaTrader, etc., etc. In other words, different programming languages use different ways of calculating maths. Believe it or not, we always take computers as being accurate and perfect, but actually there are rounding errors with different mathematics, and basically different languages use a different mathematic structure for calculating numbers. So in NinjaTrader we would have had 1 plus 1 equals 2.00001, which is just above 2, therefore that setup displayed. But in MTPredictor we'd have had 1 plus 1 equals 1.999999, which is less than 2, therefore that setup would not have displayed. If I can show you this by, if I go to the filters and I'll just take this down a bit to 1.8, and if I put that on there, you can see the TS2 arrives there, and if I analyze the setup again, it's showing at the profit of 2R, but actually that 2R is probably 1.999999999999. So again, this is what you have to be careful with when you look at different programming languages across different platforms, is that, believe it or not, computers are not consistent. They do not give you the same answer on what we believe is simple mathematics. So that's just a little point to be wary of. So let's just take the worst case scenario and let's avoid or not count that plus 2R profit, because the NinjaTrader users among you would have actually taken this ES signal, would have made plus 2R and avoided one of the minus R losses on the YM, so you'd have actually been 3R better overall. So the NinjaTrader users among you would have had a plus 12R day, which again is absolutely fantastic. But let's just take the worst case scenario, because it's always good to look at the worst case scenario, and even not counting that TS2 sell there on the ES, we actually had a fantastic day using MTPredictor with at least plus 9R profit. So that was a really, really good day, and it was really nice the way all these sell setups here were not only perfect standard trade setups using the STF, so all the standard MTPredictor users among you should have caught those, but it was also great the way once this 15-minute DP had been exceeded on the 15-minute charts, the advanced traders among you would have actually been short as well. So a very, very good day in there. The only thing I can say on the ES as well is, if we put the decision point on there, it's amazing how that low came in right at decision point support as well to actually nail the low of the day. But that's a really advanced trade. So just to sum up, for standard traders among you, it would have been a very good day on MTPredictor with at least plus 9R, or if you're using NinjaTrader, it'd probably been plus 12R profit. So either way, a very good trading day for MTPredictor yesterday.